Hey guys, I'm gonna show you guys a cheap and easy way to make your own homemade buckshot or slugs. And I've pulled some out of the shells that I've made a couple months back, and I'm gonna show you just some homemade non-lethals too. And I also pulled out some shells back here just to give you some something to look at, kind of, sort of. We have a 20 gauge. Right here, this is a universal. This is the kind of shell that you're going to want to buy if you're going to make a homemade buckshot or a homemade slug. You want to buy the universal loads. They're pretty cheap. I mean, you can get a box of 20 gauge for about $5-6, varies. So definitely a lot cheaper to make your own than to buy them. All right, and then you have a 20 gauge rifled slug hollow point, and you get 15 of those, and these run about $13 to $14. And also we have 12 gauge, and if you're using a 12 gauge, this is the load that you're going to want to get to make your homemade buckshot or slugs. Just a universal, federal 12 gauge load. And also just to throw it in there, I also put threw out a 12 gauge buckshot, 9 pellets, double-aught buck, and that's it sitting right there with a high brass. So let's give you guys a preview. So when you buy a normal just universal loads, on average they're about like a 7.5 shot, as you can see, guys. That's 7.5. And on a 12 gauge it's 7.5. And the 7.5, I put these out to show you, is really small. That's it right there. So even if you don't have anything like larger, like lead or metal projectiles to put into a shell, just look at the size of a normal BB. Do you see the size? This normal BB that you put into a BB gun is a lot bigger than the little 7.5 shot, as you can see, guys. So you buy these shells for, let's see, what I say, $5-6. Pick up a pack of 2,400 count BBs. I mean, and these only run you like $2. And you pretty much have yourself a homemade turkey load, which is ideal for home defense. I mean, you really don't want to be shooting buckshot and slugs through your home. So, I mean, it's a good way to I'm sorry, guys. It's a good way to make some homemade hunting rounds. But if you're going to be predominantly watching this video and trying to make your own homemade rounds because they're expensive, I would just roll with something like this, guys. Just put some regular size BBs if you're more than likely going to be using this inside your house, especially if you have kids or other people in your house. I mean, because something like this is going to go through multiple walls. So I mean, that might pass through one, but 2 or 3, I don't think so. Alright, so I'm just going to give you guys a preview. With a 12 gauge, you can pack more in. I don't have any 12 gauges packed up right now. I just have 20. So the only difference is, guys, is that you can just put more in, pretty much. So this one is, I put 5 big sinkers in here. This is what I want to get to, is that this is what I'm using, bullet weights. And this is really neat because these are only running about $3 or $4, and you can find them in a fishing aisle. And as you can see, guys, these are massive pieces of lead that are already formed, and they're solid lead. So these are pretty devastating. I've tried them out on different things, and look at all of them. For $3 or $4, you can make you a bunch of different rounds. They're all different sizes. So it just depends on what you're trying to make. I like to experiment. So as you can see, guys, I'm trying to work with this light, guys. You got 5 big ones in there in this first load. So you can do you one like that, or you can do one like this. I got 8 small ones that are a little bit smaller, and you can see than these ones. So I could get 5 into this one. So if it was a 12 gauge, I could probably get about maybe 7, 8. So then I got 8 small ones in here. And this is my homemade rhododendron jungle, which is kind of just a slang term for just a bunch of stuff in a shell. As you can see, guys, I got a really big one in the middle, and then I'm followed by 4 bigger size, well, they're bigger than these other ones, but they're small, a little bit smaller than this big guy in the middle. And then I have a bunch of these are lead sinkers, but these are, if you were to put them in shotgun terms, this is probably about a number 4 shot, so this is pretty big. It's definitely a lot bigger than the BBs, so I got that followed up with it too. So that would be pretty devastating. And just to give you guys some, you know, like non-lethal ideas. This one, all it has is in this plastic plastic little necklace BB. I keep wanting to say BBs, little necklace beads in it, which my little one has a bracelet kit that allows you to make bracelets, and I just borrowed some of her plastic beads, and I mean, and these things work really well for like a non-lethal. If you have a cat or something that's in your yard, it's further away, you can scare it off without actually hurting it. And this is something that I made too, which I'll try to get in the light and show you guys. If you can see, that's actually the top of a little rubber bear that I cut its head off, and so it's like a solid rubber ball. As you can kind of see the ears on it a little bit on the sides, and I've used it a couple of times and it works really well. So that'd be a good non-lethal shell to use too. And I mean, there's all kinds of things. That's why shotguns are really cool to use. You can see, I got pinto beans. You can stick them in there, top of a crayon, more beads, silly putty, a spongy. I showed a video with shooting this. I've shot this quite a few times actually, and that makes a really good, like, less than lethal, like, rubber round. And I got some rice in here and got Play-Doh. And this is a bag that has these little beads in it, and it's already in this nylon bag, and I found it underneath my little one's bed. I think she had pulled it out of a stuffed animal or something. But as you can see, guys, it's almost like a bean bag. So I'm going to try to figure a way to I might have to cut it down a little bit and re-sew it and take some of these beads out. But I would like to be able to pack this into one of these shells and make a really good less than lethal bean bag. So that'd be pretty cool. So I'll try to let you guys know how that works out for me. But just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any questions, just leave them, and I'll try my best to answer them. And I just wanted to give you some ideas on your own homemade buckshot and slugs, because buckshot and slugs are definitely more expensive than just normal birdshot. On average, they're $8 to $10 more. So if you have fishing sinkers or stuff like that laying around, or you go pick some up, as you can see, guys, I mean, these almost look like bullets, and they're bullet weights. And and they're hollow because they have to be able to take the fishing line. So this is definitely going to expand when it hits. So I thought that was a pretty good solution. So alright, guys, till the next time, hope you enjoyed it. Alright, later.